Welcome everybody to Dive Bar of Democracy. That's M-O-C-K. Easily the most random internet show you'll come across. Tonight we're going to have 3 topics. We don't know what they're going to be. We don't know who our host or hostess is going to be. The only thing that we know is that it's Friday night and we're doing it right. And there's only one way we do it, and that's the fuck 'em fam way. You ready to smash the fash? Let's meet the gang, shall we? Oh, shit!
Hey, gang.
What's happening? How's it going, everybody? It's Friday. We managed to get through another week in this crazy place we call America.
What is this alternate timeline?
Well, it's, I don't know. There's so many things going on that I believe Lev Parnas told us about at one time.
I do recall a time we sat and watched with popcorn, bated breath, and giggles of glee when he detailed everything that we kind of knew about, but needed to see dropped on the committee floor.
Well, there's just something about after knowing all of this, and then, you know, if you have a brain, you can kind of put 2 and 2 together by looking at what was voted for in Congress as to what was going on, that there was interference. But before we get into any of this craziness, because me thinks it's at least going to be something like that tonight, let's go ahead and reach into the chopper hopper and find out who our host or hostess is going to be tonight. Can I get a drum roll, please?
There we go.
Oh shit! Is Godfrey? What has Godfrey got for us tonight?
Oh yeah.
We've just had a super interesting week. And there's a lot of big stories, so we're gonna hit the major ones.
Okay, well, let's go ahead and bring up our first topic and see what we got. Let's see here.
The first major one is Russian interference, of course.
And of course, when it's found out, what happens? Please enlighten us.
They play the victim. Yeah,
it just seems to be something about this image that there's something there's a continuity factor. What is it?
They say they're victims, and they're not.
Oh, tell her what she's won, Johnny. Because
gosh, what's behind door number 3?
Because if there's one thing that we've learned is that any given time when MAGA or any of their ilk is done anything where they might actually be held accountable, they play the victim.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm like, you know what you were doing when you took that money? Like, now you're sorry? Whatever.
Yeah, how do they envision themselves with Trump's campaign now?
Yeah.
And their push for that. Anywhere near what they were in 2020 levels?
Well, it's
I
funny
think they're in a world of hurt at the moment.
Mhm.
They've just been exposed.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny
They're
because
onto them now.
from everything that Lev told us, there's nothing about this that changes from, I think, the halls of Congress all the way down to people like Tim Pool and Benny Johnson, and they get the group email of the talking points that have been laid out in the DOJ indictment. Mm-hmm. And it's you got to keep bringing it back to these.
Well, what I want to know is when they're going to get around to even bigger players, and I'm not talking about in the media. I'm talking about Jim Comer. Jim Comer, the guy who knowingly used Russian disinformation from a known Russian spy to try to impeach the president of the United States. That's treason. If anything is treason, that's treason.
Mm-hmm.
He abused his official position to lie to the American public and put on record lies, knowing lies and disinformation from an adversary. I don't understand how that man is not behind bars, and how he's still in Congress.
I'm sure
Well-
there's more of them too. We all know that there's
Oh, there are.
people that's getting paid by Russia, and we know they went to Russia. We know at least, what's old Ron Johnson and who else was it when they went over there on the 4th of July one year?
Just
So,
fine.
Yeah, when do those boneheads come back into Congress or whatever? Like, is September when, mid-September when they all start back up or what? Because
Mhm.
we haven't heard from any of them in too long, and I'm missing their stupid idiot phrases. Like when Comer and Raskin fight with each other, it's just gold.
They're
you know?
afraid to come back now because I guarantee
They-
Raskin is going to be like, so remember this impeachment inquiry and remember
Uh-huh.
these talking points that you were using in this impeachment inquiry? And they're going to
Yeah.
be like,
you can't tell me they want to investigate his bank records and stuff.
oh,
Why
it's
can't
about to get
make yourself-
really, really.
Oh,
Your cat.
Mhm.
come on now. Come down.
And then there's also a bigger player, it's Elon Musk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that butthole. Oh, my God.
Yeah. I mean, he's not just allowing, he's excusing and pushing that kind of propaganda.
Mm-hmm.
He,
So what do you think, like, Russia, Saudi Arabian connections are like? I mean, how strategized are the two of those countries?
I honestly don't know.
Mhm.
Saudi Arabia probably has a little bit to do with it, considering how much money they've given the Trump family.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Well, and just their port location with oil and everything, and Russia's concern with Ukrainian ports
Mhm.
specifically. So
Yeah,
I don't
my
know.
mic cut out. So
Those motherfuckers have so much money, though.
I'm like, where do
I
they get
mean,
all this
it's
money? How do
fucking
they
unreal.
have all this money is what I want to know. Is it because they
Oil.
taking it? They take it
Oh,
and they take
oil.
it from their
Yeah.
people as well. I'm
yeah,
sure.
oil,
Mhm.
that's a big thing.
Oil and engineering.
Well, it's crazy that, the Saudis bought LAV Golf with Trump, and then they're investing in the WWE with McMahon, and Hulk Hogan's endorsing
Mhm.
Trump, and it's all kind of circular. But let's go ahead and take this one step further with this Russian collusion, and I'm officially going to call it collusion. I don't care. I don't fucking care. It's collusion. And let's take this one step further. Those talking points were used to block Ukrainian aid, and Vladimir Putin conducted war crimes against Ukraine. I think that those people who use those talking points to block Ukrainian aid should be charged with the same war crimes as Vladimir Putin.
Yep. It's
Yep.
it's in furtherance of the crime.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're siding with the enemy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they would probably make the argument that, well, Russia's not our enemy, it's Ukraine's enemy. But, yeah, I think more along the lines of directly subverting U.S. elections or the U.S. government would be more what we should go after.
Yeah.
And these media heads, or these media figures, I guess, definitely did that. Who was it? Benny Johnson, Tim Pool. Who was the other guy?
Matt Christensen.
Was it
Yeah.
Lauren Southern, I think?
Yeah, Lauren Southern. And, I've been making internet content for just a little while, not a whole long while, but just a little while. And if somebody told me out of nowhere that if I made 4 videos a week, made $100K a week, I'd think there was a little, it was a little sus, you know what I mean? And I don't know if I was the only one who'd ever heard the phrase "too good to be true," or "the large print
Exactly.
giveth and the small print taketh away," but apparently they have not.
Gold. I like.
Well, this is going to be an interesting journey, guys.
The next few months are going to be so much fun because You know there's more.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
the
this-
toilet bowl.
They're playing
this is
some
literally
40
remember.
chess right now.
Well, do you remember in the congressional hearing when they had the Russian doll and they was trying to use that to talk about how the prosecution against Trump in New York was like a Russian doll? As actually the Russian doll is Congress, Tim Pool, Penny Johnson.
Vladimir Putin. Yeah.
The nesting doll.
Oh my God. It is the perfect description of the Trump candidacy
It
and
really is.
presidency. Yeah.
There's a little
Russian
Putin in all
nesting
of
doll.
them.
So funny because I have some of those nesting dolls that my husband brought back from Russia when he had to go over there years ago for work, and he brought back some really cool stuff from
That's awesome.
See, yeah.
I've never been to Russia. Have any of you guys been to Russia?
Yes, and my husband did, and he said it was. I mean, the pictures and stuff that he took, man.
Mhm.
Like it was really like. Of course, he couldn't go anywhere but Moscow because they were very strict. And I'm trying to think how many years ago this was, and he's over there. I think he was over there two or three times.
Mhm.
But yeah, no, like I guess it's the Kremlin, or is it it's the Orthodox Church that has the color?
Yeah, the big
Like
turrets
the
and
sque-
stuff.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh! Like I mean, really, it was very like in a lot of like buildings and even their train stations.
Yeah, I don't think they're making much tourist money lately.
No, but
Oh,
in their train stations they had gold, in there. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous. Like a lot of this stuff that's there. And
Mhm.
my husband brought me back a Fabergé egg necklace, and then
Wow.
when he went back, he tried to find the earrings to match, but he couldn't find the earrings to match.
Damn.
But I do have, I do
Gonna have to Ocean's 11 that shit.
I know. Hey, and I'll never forget. So my mom was a vodka drinker, and my husband brought back like real Russian vodka. And my mom thought she was going to be real slick, and she thought she was going to shoot it because she's like, man, I gotta,
Uh-oh.
like she's like, oh, come on, I need to see how this tastes, man. She puts a shot, and she goes, I never seen anything come back out so
Oh,
fast.
gross.
I'm like, yeah, that's not like your Tito's, Mom.
No. No, this just tastes like low self-esteem and poverty.
That was hilarious. Look at her face.
Do they make bathtub vodka the same way they make bathtub gin, or what's up with that?
Probably.
You
Probably,
make
yeah,
bathtub
probably.
vodka.
Sure, you probably could.
It's just called hooch, just of any variety.
You can always make angry in
Like
the toilet.
prison
Of course,
toilet wine.
shank or be shanked.
Toilet
Toilet
vodka.
wine. Oh God. I
Toilet
can't tell you
vodka.
anything
There you go.
More motivating for sobriety than toilet wine.
Ew. Yeah.
I feel like toilet wine is like an appropriate nickname for Ted Cruz.
Yeah.
So
I
many.
would miss my bong way more than I'd miss booze if I was in jail.
Yeah, I don't care about liquor really.
Yeah. Speaking of Ted Cruz, Colin Allred is creeping up on him. There's like, what? Like, he's creeping up on him. And if I'm not mistaken, Harris is like 3 points close to Trump, like in Texas. Texas.
But I've seen a Ted Cruz sign in my neighborhood. One.
I'm
Really?
gonna take your point and run with it. There's a reason why they're going to Florida. There's a reason why they went to freaking Iowa, Nebraska, and other places. They're gonna get into some of these red states, and they're gonna flip them, or they're gonna flip a seat here and there, and that's what we've
Oh
been
my
needing.
God, that's gonna
Not
be
just the
so
one.
amazing. I can't
So I
fucking
don't-
wait.
I don't put it past them.
Come
Just
on,
keep an
Texas,
eye
come
out,
on,
see
Texas,
what they're
baby.
doing next.
They're forcing Trump to spend money in Florida.
Yeah.
Florida.
And
Yeah.
Texas.
Dude, how about Harris bus past Mar-a-Lago?
I still haven't seen any
Oh.
footage from that. I gotta go look at that. I need to
So
that.
awesome.
Slow
That's
put a
so
stop
cool.
sign right in front of it.
So good.
Be like,
Damn, it feels good to be a gangst. Just
Oh,
roll it fast. That's fantastic.
Another thing on this whole
Friday night.
Russian thing.
Just got paid.
Oh my god. Okay. Dave Rubin's one of the people in those.
Yeah,
in
Dave
the
Rubin.
indictment too.
Mm-hmm.
He owns a social media company. Locals. I want to know where the funding for that startup came from.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Rubin?
I want to know why
Yeah.
Mike Johnson doesn't have a bank account.
What?
Yeah.
That's so weird.
In the United
He has
States.
an anti-porn account, but he doesn't have a bank account?
Red
Yeah.
flags everywhere.
Wait,
Check
how did he pay for an anti-porn account? Did you send him a check? Wait, he doesn't have an account.
How you gonna cash it?
They are
Yeah,
not
check if you don't have a bank
beating the
account.
weird allegations. They are not.
He has Apple Pay connected to some credit card that like funds, I don't know, what would it fund? What sort of mileage would he be accumulating?
I don't believe in
Significant.
banks.
Yeah,
Everybody
yeah.
doesn't believe in banks.
Oh yeah, you can't trust a bank, man.
Yeah.
Just
But it makes
totally
me think
untrustable.
he's hiding stuff then. He has to be hiding stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hiding
Yeah,
stuff.
just a bit.
Well, we all know that. I'm like, duh, you're hiding stuff. Goodbye.
Yeah.
He has a bank account. He just doesn't want to tell Congress about it.
Well, I mean, that seems like blatant racism to me. I mean, it's like anti-banking is like being anti-Jewish, like ultimately, you know. In my mind, I mean,
that's
if
such
you
like
and he is a hardcore Christian.
yeah,
so
I mean-
I'm not saying anything, but
there is that whole like thing that they actually, it's a trope that they talk about in the dark spaces, and for I know you to bring it up, it sounds really uncomfortable for people to hear that, but it's a true honest to God trope. And if you've never heard that, you need to be aware of it. If you see images of like a Jewish person with overly drawn features rubbing their hands together, understand that this is anti-Semitic
That's
tropes.
propaganda.
Yeah.
How do you think Hitler got it? Of the years?
That's the same shit they were
Yeah.
using in the 20s and 30s.
Yep.
There you go.
Well, the Fashcan original.
Last 20.
Mike Johnson from Dusted in the chat says Mike Johnson has been instructed by Trump to only have Russian accounts because we know Trump is the one with Chinese accounts and Jared is the one with Saudi accounts.
I see.
There's
Dude,
your
y'all.
tie-in.
It all
Listen.
comes together way too easily.
We don't want Elion in our government either.
Yeah, totally.
yeah. No, I mean
I'm gonna
he's already
put garlic
taken
in
enough
broth.
from us. He's already a welfare queen in his own way, you know. He's just sucked
My entire
most of our resources.
life, Republicans'
word,
argument against single payer or government health care is, oh, do you want health care that's run like like the post office? It's like, yeah. Do you want government that's run like Twitter?
Yeah, exactly. He wants to put him in charge of some department of economic finance or whatever, you know, some word salad Trump made up. But it's like, wait a minute, he like buy Twitter and lose more money than most people will ever see in their entire lifetime, maybe, or their whole family will ever see combined. That doesn't seem like good business
since acquiring it.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, a lot more than half, or a lot less than half. Yeah.
I feel like Elon would come in and his only response would be,
Hello, IT. Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Gold, my friend.
Like,
but the concept of making someone who just halved the value of a very large company, the minister for government efficiency, I'd probably pass on that. I'd probably look to someone else, maybe. Anyone else. Literally anyone else right now.
It'd just be like, NASA isn't very efficient. Take the whole budget and give it to SpaceX. You know? You do something like that.
well, used to that because
Yeah.
Which, by the way, how
Elon made it.
True.
He's the world's smartest dumbass, or world's smartest smartest dumbass, or dumbest genius. He made a small fortune out of Twitter, but he had to start with a really large one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his alliance with Trump just proves their shit show ringmastery, you know. They're just like, hey, we got to get together and do this together, you know. We both are really good con men, so let's run it into the ground.
But his blatant and shameless attempts at election interference via Twitter is just graceful and deserves to
arbitrary
be charged.
discrimination, you know, questioning of the press, free press, journalism, and
in Kamala's account for 24 hours.
A list of accounts that cannot have any action taken against them, no matter what they say. And you know, people like, and Libs of TikTok is on that list.
I'm curious if Libs of TikTok is getting any of that money.
Yeah. Well,
Rumble. We should go to Rumble.
It's like honestly, it's like Tony said. He's like, if you think about these accounts that are boosted to ridiculous numbers, like you wouldn't even expect, their product is mediocre. Number one, and then number two, how do they have an entire fucking studio set up behind them? Like, that's my question.
Yeah.
Like, Tim Pool has an underground skate park, and he bought an area that was a public skate park that kids used to skate, and he wanted that for himself, so he bought all that land, and it was about $900,000. Now, here's the funny part, is that he made that purchase right after Tenet Media launched.
Made a bunch of real estate acquisitions just after that deal was
funny.
signed.
It's just coincidence. It's just, I don't know. He's a victim, though. Remember, he's a victim.
He's a victim.
He's a victim, and
Who
he
owns
controls
Tenet Media. I don't know about Tenet Media. Who's that?
That's the company that they were all in.
Never heard of it.
Okay.
It was the shell corporation that they were using to push to different podcasters, which you know, Tim Pool and all the other guys are freaking the fuck out about it now, because they're like, wait, that's who was signing my paychecks. Oh shit.
Okay.
And now you see Tim Pool freaking the hell out about it on Twitter for the last 2.5 days, going like, I didn't know nothing. And he's trying to flip it. He's selling himself out faster than fucking Rudy.
Between
that's
him,
what I want to ask people that watch Tim Pool or Dave Rubin or any of these other people, Benny Johnson. It's like, okay, so they're victims. They got conned. They're that dumb that they got so easily conned. And you really want these people's advice. You really want to listen to them on complex social issues. You think that they have the gray matter up there to actually compute this, but when someone walks up and hands them $400,000 a month, they don't even question it?
Yeah.
There's something missing there.
It's like when they see conspiracies everywhere that they look, and then when an honest to God conspiracy hands them, like they might as well have like a bag with a fucking money sign on it. Like, it might as well like be a caricature of 1920s capitalism, like, or here's some money.
Well, not just a bag with a money sign on it. There's also a hammer and sickle.
No, it's actually what's the rubles sign? Is there like? Does anyone know? Put it in the chat.
There's no money in that. Nobody knows.
I'm gonna create a hashtag for it. I'm gonna call it a cuck winky dink.
Winky dink.
A cuck winky dink.
It just happened. I don't know.
Well, is that a stroke on the keyboard? The winky dink.
I mean, they're doing the same tactic that they did in the 30s. The Nazis did, and that's exploit kernels of disturbance, which basically means taking anything and making it an issue. A movie is either woke or it's not woke. You get what I'm saying? And the main thing that they're trying to do is solve the chaos. I mean, not solve, but sow the chaos in the Discord to where Americans aren't even trusting each other and they feel hopeless. And it's only, I suppose, fueled on by this easy access to firearms. I believe Godfried sent me what would be our second topic tonight.
What? I wonder if that's true. So, Dusted Earth in the chat says, Chaya Rychik, who runs Liz of TikTok, has a net worth of 10 million. What? Yeah.
Yeah, but if you've been taking a tenant media contract, that's only 2 years worth with your sign-on
Right.
bonus. Yeah.
Damn.
Sorry.
Can't hear
I
you,
dare
Sam.
say they're cleaning up.
Godfrey, your second topic is up if you want to read the
Yeah.
title.
So, the next topic up here is the bad news of the week. Georgia high school shooting suspect's father faces charges after father faces judge after murder charges. Okay, that's what it says. Yeah, he's facing charges and he was arrested yesterday for supplying the gun to his son.
Good.
Yeah. See,
He
so
needs to.
Colin Gray, 54, is being charged with 4 counts of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of second-degree murder, and 8 counts of cruelty to children. The GBI said Thursday, and the agency announced his arrest. So, one part of this thing I wanted to read is Georgia law prohibits minors from possessing handguns, but there's no minimum age to possess a rifle or shotgun
Wow.
in Georgia.
And an
But what
assault
about
weapon
an
counts as a
AR? What is
rifle.
that?
It's a rifle. So they can possess it. They can't buy it. Someone has to buy it.
Because a handgun is something that
You have to be 18
somebody-
or 21. I don't know what it's called over here now.
would carry that would be, say, black. I'm just going to throw it out there and guess that. Like, a handgun would be something that someone who could be inner city would carry around with them, but a rifle would be someone more likely to be rural who
Oh yeah, I mean,
had storage to put that weapon in, right?
Well, honestly, a lot of gun control laws were based on race. Because if you notice, when in the 70s, the Black Panthers started arming themselves, really when they started to do any sort of crackdown on firearms. I'm seeing that Dusted Earth made a response in the chat. Can someone read that off, please?
I'll read it. Rychik made her first ever in-person televised appearance on the December 27th, 22 episode of Tucker Carlson. In the episode, she stated the LGBTQ community has become this cult, and it's so captivating, and it pulls people in so strongly. They're just evil. They're bad people. They're just evil people, and they want to groom kids. They're recruiting. Again, and that's the end of the quote. And again, it's the wording is what the type that Trump uses. It's just hate speech. It's just
such savage ignorance and bigotry.
And it needs to be labeled as such.
And he got that from Wikipedia, so it sounds Russian. Yes, Dustin, it does.
Yeah, sounds very Russian.
I mean, the stuff she said got bomb threats called into hospitals, and you don't think that this isn't fueled by Russia?
Mm-hmm. It's just sowing division.
In every possible way. It doesn't really matter. Like I said, whether if a movie comes out, it's woke or it's not woke, or if a video game comes out, it's woke or it's not woke. And if it's not woke, then it's based, and it's just everything is complete 100% extreme polar opposites on each side. There's no room for neutrality in the middle, because that would require empathy, and empathy is seen as virtue signaling, which is terrifying.
Yeah,
fucking terrifying.
Terrible.
To some of them, empathy is considered weakness. Just straight up, nope, I'm gonna dick the entire time.
It is. That's really sad. Like,
it's sad because it ties into their sex life.
Yeah, I know. Then they wonder why their pronouns are she left.
Yeah.
The pronouns are couch fucker.
Couch and glow. I'm glad that we're starting to actually get accountability and being able to start setting actual precedent for parents who just freely supply their children with firearms.
Yeah, I'd read that there were 195 incidents of children, under the age of 18 involved in shootings of some kind since Columbine happened. And I think there's been, 3 or 4 parents charged so far. Yeah. So,
well, they need to start doing that because maybe that would deter some people to be not.
Yeah, I mean, what else can we do? If they won't pass any other legislation about it, then we absolutely have to do whatever we can to go after whoever.
Absolutely.
I mean, I wish that we could sue gun manufacturers ultimately. That's
next, charging the stores, the manufacturers. Like, hey, you sold this to someone who was a criminal.
Yeah. I mean, if these companies were required to manufacture products that weren't so destructive, just the same way that food companies are required to manufacture or at least give you labeling as to the offensiveness of a product, then it would make a big difference. Or it could bankrupt a company, ultimately, like the NRA or Winchester or fucking, I don't know many gun manufacturer names, but that would be great.
Well, and genuinely, I think that's why MAGA is shitting a golden kitten over Tim Walz because, he endorses the Second Amendment and it's been proven that he can outshoot the Republicans in Congress. He is for sensible gun control and for background checks. And it really, really fucks with their narrative because he is not, a soy boy with a top knot. You know what I mean? Like those stupid stereotypes that they want to use. Which, funny enough, by the way, Dave Rubin played the soy boy with the top knot's voice in the horrible cartoon Mr. Bertram by the Daily Wire that tanked.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
A little fun and games for you. It's funny. It's like failed actor Michael Knowles goes fash. Failed screenwriter Ben Shapiro goes fash. Let's see here. Tim Pool, failed musician, goes fash. I could eat a can of alphabet soup and shit a better song than Tim Pool could write.
Or cover.
If you look at the stuff, like Tim Walz puts up hunting pictures, right? Like you've seen a lot of his hunting pictures. What is he carrying? He's not carrying an AR. He's carrying a break action shotgun or a bolt rifle.
Yeah.
Because he's hunting.
Yeah, old school.
You got 1-2 shots. Either you get it or you don't.
Yeah. If you can't take down a deer or an elk with 1 or 2 shots, you have no business being out there.
I mean, if you're
go home, practice.
If you hunt with an AR or something like that, you're not going to be able to eat that. You have to be very careful. Like with the AR, it's not really made to be hunting. That could just, hunting a deer. Who's going to hunt a deer with AR? Mostly you do it with a shotgun because you don't want them to be.
Yeah.
You want meat to be left.
Because you're shooting it because you get it processed and all that other stuff. So you're not just going to shoot it up with an AR.
That's why you hunt deer with a rifle and not a shotgun because you don't want to be picking buckshot out of your fucking meat.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And you're not going to take 7 or 8 or 10 shots at it. Like you're just going to ruin it. You want 1 shot, if ideally, but so you don't need an AR. You can use a single shot rifle, a bolt action rifle, whatever.
I honestly don't know.
Tim Walz uses.
Yeah, I honestly don't know. I've seen the power of an AR. Apparently, it can't even take the tip of an ear off.
Right? Like just 2 weeks under a maxi pad and it's back.
Oops.
Oh my god. Did anyone try putting a maxi pad on those teachers?
On what?
We
The
had
teachers.
we had stuff stuck in our ears that, and remember when we started the show the other, we had.
I think I think Godfried had like his mattress on the side of his head or something.
Yeah,
I had a flat pillow strapped to the side of my head. Like,
I saw so many good things. Like some guy had like a tennis shoe, and I mean, I saw all kind of creative things, man. I mean, I'm not even lying.
I had a big bag of white powder.
that's the next thing that Trump's gonna sell. It's Trump's brand regenerative.
What, cocaine?
Yeah.
Ear pads.
Two
Yeah.
things. Number one, we've all seen
like
photos of
sticky
Evander
note
Holyfield.
option.
That shit does not grow back. And number two, we
Yep.
know that it never happened because if there was a piece of his ear, that motherfucker would have sold it.
That too.
Yeah.
Fucked his ear up though. I'm talking about like there would have been like probably nothing left of his ear.
I mean, there would have at least been a wound.
Yeah.
There looked like he had a hole or anything, and that motherfucker nothing.
Even in the live photo, like you can look at it right when he stands up. Like there's a cut and he's bleeding. That's it.
I just think I thought, well, maybe he got like around, like something around.
Yeah, underneath the hair. It's there's a cut there and he's bleeding a little bit, but there's no piece of his ear missing.
Honestly, I think something else got him as far as like
Yeah,
something
Glass from a
straight.
teleprompter.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
best guess. 'Cause you could see it. You could see something flying in a
Yeah.
picture or something, and bullets travel too fast for that to be a bullet because you would never see the bullet. Like that's a
Yeah.
1 in a million chance. But the other thing is, fine, he got cut and he bled from the teleprompter or whichever, and he had to put a Band-Aid over it. Fine, sure. The only reason he's come back and put a Band-Aid on it again is either he probably sharted too hard and just busted the blood vessel.
My shoes.
Yeah.
So, or it's just it just came back in the rotation. You know how it's just the rotation of bullshit of whatever they have to bring up.
Well,
And it just goes faster and faster.
and they had to make sure to use that as a wonderful point inside of their victimese language inside of Congress, because you heard Marjorie Taylor Greene say, and President Trump was shot in the face, and they just
in Congress. She was like, "It's shot in the face," and I'm like, no, I'm not sure.
He wasn't. Yeah, he wasn't shot. He was shot at. Like,
She's a swamp creep.
More to
Oh,
come
yeah.
about that event
Oh,
over the
yeah.
years, like, or it will be like forgotten in the dustbin of history until
they're
some
hoping.
like scam paid for by Roger
some
Stone
secret
or
service agent
Steve
or
Bannon or-
something will leak
Yeah.
it and it'll just be like, wait, what? Just kind of like what was the guy's name? The Nixon. Was it Mark Phelps? What was his name? Yeah, the guy that was the informant on Nixon, and it came out like 30 years later who it was.
Oh, the Deep Throat
Deep
guy.
Throat.
Deep
Is that what
Throat.
you're talking about? Mhm.
And it-
I thought that was Linda
I think what
Lovelace.
that dude's name was.
oh, ouch.
He went to U of I know that, which I went to school there. And I don't even know his name. I know Deep Throat, though. What does that tell you about me?
Oh, we all know that. Wait, what?
I think I found that in the top of my uncle's drawer.
My parents had behind the green door or the red door? Was it behind the red door? It was one of those.
It was the green door.
That we
It was
had.
like right there with like Devil and Miss
Yeah.
Jones. Good
Oh,
Lord.
yeah. My parents had.
Welcome to Dive Bar Democracy. We
That
go
one.
from
I remember that
we go from talking about gun safety to the classic
mean-
70s porn.
School shooting to Deep
I mean,
Throat.
I'm not gonna lie.
We
you
stick
know,
to
I mean,
pig.
Deep Throat is a political phrase, y'all.
It is.
It really is.
It is. It was actually as to inform.
Yeah.
Thanks to Deep Throat, we actually were
That's
able.
where Deep State came from, is Deep Throat.
Well, that's
the-
Deep State is
Well-known
also
fact.
a dog whistle for the quote unquote Jewish elite as well. It's It's just another one of those.
Yeah.
Just like globalist, how they love to say globalist.
Globalist.
Or like we were talking about earlier, banking cabals. Like, yeah, it's just a dog whistle.
Centralized bankers.
Yep.
Yeah. When especially like people like Jordan Peterson love the words cultural Marxism.
Oh.
It's like, oh, are we not saying Bolshevism anymore? Is that not something we're doing?
Yeah.
We moved away from that.
Well, yeah, because they love Russia now.
Yeah, they love them some Russia. Boy, howdy ding dong, do they love them some Russia?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, from Aristotle of the intellectual dork web. Peterson special.
Oh yeah.
Can't stand it.
My kitty just can't get settled. He hasn't been good.
You know, like there before COVID, like when he didn't lose his mind, when he just tell you to clean your room, but then you found out he was actually telling you to clean your room in the most racist way possible.
Yes.
Make sure there's no Jews under your bed. I wish I could do his voice.
Or in your closet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think just make your voice sound like Kermit.
Always check.
There's nothing in there.
It's like if Kermit was always on the edge of tears due to benzo high. Speaking of
Just
being
unrelated here, sidebar.
Yeah.
Note we didn't crash Grinder for the DNC.
Oh yeah, but it was a COVID super spreader event.
There was no need
the DNC was?
That's what I heard. Everyone I talked to who went there got COVID.
There was no need for us to crash DNC. I mean, all you gotta do is walk around with like a fucking pineapple in your cart or something, and I mean, you're at the DNC, dude. Like, come on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Smiles and high fives. That's how it rolls.
We're not afraid of our sexuality.
Yeah, exactly. No. We ain't scared. We ain't afraid of no ghosts. Oh my god. Like, what is this timeline that we're living in to where somebody who just literally is deteriorating mentally before our eyes? And I'm not talking about Joe Biden, because as much as Trump is obsessed with him, I'm sorry, he's not still in the race. But we're talking about the sane washing. And I think that if I'm not mistaken right here, it looks like Godfrey's topic that he sent me. Yeah, let's see here. It's looking a lot like...
It's like...
the original salad shooter himself.
Yep, the word salad and bullshit. It's like if someone ate word salad and then or a bowl ate word salad and chat it out, you know, it's like it's a mix.
Well,
but that's what it is.
I mean,
so
you already see the lie in the photo coming out of his mouth as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
And
the accordion hands.
Yeah, exactly. The accordion hands. That's totally his tell. God, imagine playing poker with him.
Oh yeah.
Can I get 3?
I have the best hand.
Yeah. I don't have the best hand. I mean, I do. I mean, how do I do this again?
Everybody knows.
Get him a slinky.
I have all the good cards.
And now you know why he bankrupted a casino.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Multiple.
Like, yeah.
Not just one.
Outstanding.
Three casinos. How do you do that?
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, here's the word salad, though, if you want to know how fast he's deteriorating. So, and I'm not,
there's more and more.
And this is a long blathering response, so I'm going to stop after each paragraph or so and remind you what the question was, because this is insane. So he was asked today if he wanted to commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable and what specific legislation he would advance. Very concise question, right? Okay, here's his answer. Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down, and we had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on the issue, and it's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers I'm talking about, that because look, child care is child care. Couldn't you there's something you have to have it in this country. You have to have it. Again, this question is about child care and what he would do to make it more affordable.
What the fuck? He has never even taken care of a child for a minute in his life.
So this is a Wendy's.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And he goes on.
Please go forward.
But when
Yeah,
you
please
talk
pull
about
forward.
the numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly, and it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have those very substantial tax. They send products into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare. It's going to take care.
It's gotta take care of it.
I'm going to need some bread to mop that up.
And again, this question is about how he would make childcare more affordable.
He could throw a. And
I mean, the easiest answer to that question. The easiest answer to that question would be: we need to expand child care through the community. Students starting at age 3, broaden the
He needed
reach
to talk
of-
about anything policy.
Sorry
But
about that,
he
B.
won't. He never does.
My mic,
He's
my
incapable.
audio cut out. If you could go ahead and say that again.
He needs to say that he would expand the policy with the programs that currently exist in the community, that they need to offer education to kids starting at age 3 in preschool, and have kindergarten at age 5 full time available for free to all communities, and that would definitely help with women getting back to work specifically, because that's what we're talking about here is women, because they're
Harris's
the
actual
primary caretakers.
response, she said that, let's increase the child tax credit. Let's bring back the earned income credit. Like these actual things that give people money so that they can pay for child care.
Well, maybe he mentions that. There's still a bunch more to go.
Oh, please enlighten us.
Yeah.
Let's keep going.
So he goes on. I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, compared with the reductions that I told you about waste and fraud and all the other things that are going on in this country. Because I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth. But growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about. Again,
We're going to need you to drive through to the next window, sir.
This question is about childcare. Okay, the last bit.
If he didn't shit the bed in it on that one, JD Vance certainly did in his response.
Oh God, we can get to that. Do you remember his? If you want to get to that now, go ahead, and I can read the last.
Go
bit.
for it. Go for it.
Okay.
There's more?
Yes, there's one final bit. We're going to be taking it in trillions of dollars, and as much as childcare is talked about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to make this into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people, but we're going to take care of our country first. This is about America first. It's about to make America great again. We have to do it because right now we're a failing nation. So we'll take care of it. Thank you. Very good question. Thank you.
And
Very good question.
stupidest
He's got to
rich
be
people in New
flattering
York
to the
clapped.
interviewer. Like that's hmm
Fuck me.
Yeah, that was
Silly.
his
That was an
rambling.
answer?
That was like
Yeah.
2 minutes of him rambling about fuck all.
Can we get, like, just out of curiosity, are you able to do, like, a quick word count on it? Like, something?
Yeah, just a second. Go ahead and
And
keep
then
talking.
when was JD Vance's response or his synopsis of how childcare could be improved in America? What did he say?
It had to be close. It had to be close to 1,000 words.
I believe it was something along the lines of post-menopausal women who can be indentured servants. I believe that was like the slow and skinny of it.
That grandma
Okay,
and
maybe
grandpa
really.
need to help out, and that would be
Aunt or an uncle.
sufficient for
Yeah,
child
that's
care.
policy.
And we're
That
It's
we're
sounds
like,
some
dude,
substantial
grandma's
policy.
working 3 fucking jobs, you know? She's working till fucking 9 p.m. at Kroger, dude, because they're only giving her $400 a month for her retirement. So, sorry, you're going to have to take care of your own kid. I mean, as someone who has a career and children, and my parents helped me minimally, and it's so fucking hard. Like, there were years of taking care of my kids where I was like, I'm going to work and I am not making money. Like, I am just going to work to continue my work experience so that eventually my work experience will make me money, you know? And I just feel bad for people who are forced into parenthood who have like don't have resources like their parents at all, or can't trust their parents, or don't know who their parents are, or you know, whatever the circumstances are. It's like that is not an effective solution by any stretch of the imagination.
Just
No,
because
you
JD
need
Vance
community-based support.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was just saying you need community-based support for all those people who don't have family available that aren't working and are available to help and capable of doing that. That's just part of.
When my kids were little and I was working, we didn't have.
Childcare's needed.
Yeah, we had to pay for daycare. We didn't have anybody around that we knew that family that could keep our kids.
Right. And not only like is the childcare piece important, but it's like it's important to let these women know that like, yeah, your job is important. It's important for you to show up and do that job and have that for yourself, you know, so that you can be self-sustaining, so that you can have a career. And they're just like, no, just stay home and take care of them, or if you can't, make your mom do it, you know. It's like,
it pisses me off because it's like, we're dreadfully sorry, JD Vance, that you had to be raised by your grandmother because your mother chose to pursue opioids rather than motherhood, but not all of us have that fucking luxury.
Right. Yeah. I don't want to be I don't want to take care of my grandkids in 5 years. If my kid had fucking kids and made me take care of them, I'd be fucking pissed. You know, I'd be like, what the fuck? I gave you so much birth control. I told you, I gave it to you. I mean, like, I would literally drive you to get an abortion, and this is what you give to me? Like, no, thank you. I mean,
So Terp, 374 words.
Okay.
Wow.
I was gonna revise my. I was honestly going to revise my estimate to probably maybe 460, 480, but yeah, 370 words. It's still a big. It's a big bowl of soup.
Yeah, it's still a massive salad.
A lot of bread.
Ahs and Reeby doos. That's really the over under.
Okay, just stepping back on the cognitive decline, like the most obvious version, the most obvious moment of him falling apart mentally, like actually properly falling apart. Like I'm not talking about a mispronunciation of something on a teleprompter, was the oranges moment where he could not say origins and kept on repeating the word oranges. Everyone saw it. Everyone heard it. That's a man with mental and cognitive decline. There's no doubt about it.
My dad had that, so
Yeah.
I can only imagine what his frontal lobe looks like. Right.
Yeah,
What
it's aphasia. That's what happens. You
Yeah.
get a word that's either similar in meaning or similar in sound,
Yeah.
and that's the word you keep getting, but you know it's not the right word. Like when you say it, and that's what you could see it on his face, and that's why he said it again and again.
Right. He reminded
It's an
me,
automatic
like,
response.
And then he used a different word. He's like, "Go back to the beginnings." You know,
like,
yeah, it's aphasia.
watching him do that literally reminded me of one time when I drank way too much Crown Royal, and I knew the words that were coming out, they just weren't coming out, and it looked exactly like that. I was like, either he's drunk or he's slipping. And what we're doing is we're finally seeing, even on the fucking morning shows, they're finally mocking his mental decline, because we're done with the sane washing. Like, Harry held to such a ridiculous fucking standard to where
disgusting.
If she did a quarter of the nonsense that Trump says, it would be everywhere. But everyone's just like, oh, that Trump, he's a card. And it's like, no, he's losing it. And you are so invested into the whole Trump MAGA thing that you're going to ride this horse to the very end. And, you know, I mean, he still thinks he's running against Biden.
Yeah.
So your whole experience
he wishes
of drinking too much Crown Royal, that's what I felt like when I was reading that just now.
There's Crown in my cup and a cup that Skip likes.
So man, he's got that zombie.
Nice.
Oh, you rat bastard.
Actually, I wanted to read that because it's a mental challenge to read the shit that he says. Because it's not how any normal person talks. So like, I stumbled over it a few times because it's like, what the hell? Like, who says this?
Is any of it in all caps, or is it all in like?
It's a transcript of his speech. It's not.
It's a transcript.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
Both him and JD can't normal. Like when she fucking, you see the video where the lady went to fist bump JD and he grabbed her fist.
yeah.
What the?
That's what I was saying.
I just had a thought.
Embarrassment for that man. You know, I was like, oh, Jesus, that's so awful.
She's like, don't fist me, motherfucker.
Like, that was so bad, I felt embarrassed for you.
I just had a thought a moment ago in relation to B's question about the all caps. I think there's a potential that his internal CPU occasionally puts his speech in all caps, and the only way he knows how to read it is to put the Gwaven voice on. And that's like when you see him reading his teleprompter, that's the all caps word.
Yeah.
Or when he's just speaking normally, they're the all caps
like,
words.
We want you to go really hard here when we put it in all caps on the teleprompter. That's when you go all in, Trump.
Yeah. That's when you give it a twist. Not even.
And that's when it sounds like you shouldn't.
Twist one out.
I would really love to hack his teleprompter and Ron Burgundy him and just see what he'll say, you know? See what kind of crazy shit you can get him to say.
See how well he can actually read is really the point of that.
That job, because that'd be great.
You only need one word for him to have
right?
a bidirectional liquid fail, and that is arbitrage.
Your hair is fucking awful. That's all you have to say, and he'd run off the stage. Your hair looks like shit.
Who?
Absolute shit. That's all you'd have to tell him.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his hair.
Yeah, your fucking hair, dude.
I just put the word arbitrage on his teleprompter. He will pull that diaper.
Just put any word that has more than 3 syllables in it, and he's like,
yeah.
His hair really is a freaking thing, though, man.
Really
it's
is.
like
So
so ugly, and it's like unlike anyone else's hair out there. Like nobody else. He's like Chewbacca, basically.
It's an alien level of vanity.
Not that cool. Yeah, it's weird. Like the The
Yeah.
whole comb over. It's like that, like
Oh, yeah.
gangster, like that 90s, 80s gangster thing combined
Reminds
with
me of my Pawpaw's
cotton
comb over he would
candy.
have.
It's not even a good
I grew up in a
pompadour,
time where
really.
you pulled that shit off for as long as you could until people knew, and then you accepted it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no, this is sickness.
Yeah, I would
it's
never
weird.
get fucking hair plugs or anything like that. Are you kidding me? It's just like, all right, I'm shaving my head. Like, it's vanity. It is. It's just, oh, I have to always have hair. I have to always have this skin tone, and it's
Well,
weird.
I think we're all old enough to have seen and remember well the Rocky Horror Picture Show. He looks like
Mhm.
Riff Raff before he does his hair,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
and that is the truth. That's what he looks like.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's just a
Which-
skullet piled on top of like a faux pomp. It's like a trumpador. It just sucks.
Okay,
Mhm.
As you can
strapping
see,
young lad,
Have your hair.
and Riff Raff had a baby.
as you can see,
Ew.
gang, we seem to be having some technical issues on the video on my end. So if there's any
Yeah,
questions in the
but-
chat, let's go ahead and get them in there because you might be having to call it a day. But I would like to point out this will be the last episode we have with this computer.
Oh,
Awesome.
Very
nice.
exciting.
Oh.
Very excited, Skip.
And we did get through all the topics anyway, so awesome.
Yay!
Nice. So shout out to the chat. We got Benny, Amethyst, Vix was in there, Mellow Trucker, Derek was hanging out, not feeling too good. Feel better, Derek. Hope
We
you're
love
back.
Derek.
Aw.
And Dustin
Feel
Earth
for you,
was
man.
hanging out.
Mhm.
Thanks for all the comments. You guys are fucking on fire today. I will throw a question out, and I wish everyone fucking roast me on this one. I paid Elon money. I gave Elon my fucking good earned money because I paid for a blue fucking check. I am a no one on Twitter. I just reply, retweet whenever. Sometimes I get some comments, usually not. And in 2 days, I've grown like 100 followers, probably mostly bots. I got a bot in my freaking chat, like somebody direct messaged me. Sounds like a Russian bot or a Russian because it sounds translated. And it's just so much fun. It's just, I know you're going to say, why are you giving Elon money? Why are you giving Russia money? Because I'm going to fucking poke at him. I'm going to share everything. I'm going to throw everything. So today I had posted one thing and it went with all the the new Russia gate, I want to call it, I'm going to call them Vlad Bucks. Is every time they post, I'm going to put this post sponsored by Vlad Bucks. And I had Grok, X's own fucking AI, create Vladimir Putin on a fucking dollar bill. And I post that picture with it. and I've already got
Vlad
comments.
Bucks.
Oh, it's even better. What do you think the response was, yeah, but Vladimir's now rooting for Kamala. Because that was his response to the fucking
Mhm.
Why do you
the
think
fucking
he said that?
DOJ thing. So, oh my God, could not just feed it to them any easier. So I'm gonna keep doing that all weekend.
And don't worry.
As long as you promise me you'll write it off on your taxes.
Oh yeah.
Yes, everything now is gonna be written off. This is a venture.
This is a business investment.
Don't worry about giving him your money because all that means is that instead of being down $30 billion, he's down 30 billion minus $8.
Yes, sir.
And with that being said, thank you everybody for joining us for episode 21 of Dive Bar of Democracy.
Oh my gosh, thanks everybody for coming
Night,
by.
everyone.
Check it out, everybody.
Thank you so much for hanging out. Like,
Thanks for joining us.
if you give a good goddamn, make sure that you listen to the Tony Michaels podcast every single day. Make sure that you make a plan to get ready to vote because we're getting down to the wire and we only got one shot to get this right. Alrighty. Until next week, we'll see you crazy kids later.
Going back to the bar.
Bye.
Bye.
Perfect
Back to the
timing.
bar.